Good morning, everyone. Let's give it another second or two, and then we'll jump right into the bloodbath. Right. Good morning, degenerates. Welcome to another episode of Boring Crypto, the place where I read you the boring crypto news every morning, Monday through Friday, just so you don't have to. Guys, my name is not important. I'm your host. Don't look at your charts. Let's do it. Pompliano. Trump deliberately crashed markets to get interest rates down. Now, some of these articles we're not going to read today. There's not really a lot of market moving news that I found this morning. It's more so just headline reading. This is probably going to be a short show today. SEC looking to abandon efforts requiring crypto firms to register as exchanges. This is good. This is bullish news, guys. I guess X got hacked yesterday. Elon Musk, there's a massive cyber attack against X. VanEck registers Avalanche. AVAX, if you're unaware. ETF in US. AVAX drops 55% year to date. And last but not least, one reason why there was a potential sell-off as opposed to just market sentiment being bearish in general. Mt. Gox makes second $900 million move in a week as Bitcoin taps $76,000. Guys, to the market. Housekeeping per usual. Guys, if you enjoy the content I provide for you here every morning on Boring Crypto, please smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube. Guys, follow me on Facebook if that's where you're at. Share all the videos, all the streams on all your social channels to help get more people in here. Guys, right now, if you've been watching for a while, right now is the time to start paying attention. Right now is when most people, most everyday average people, will start walking away from crypto. It's boring. It's going down. I don't want to look at it. It's stupid. It's a scam. Happens every time. And those are the people that come back in the next several months, years, whatever it takes, and are like, oh, I should have bought. Don't be one of those people is the only point I'm getting at. So let's get more people in here. Let's stay in tune with the market. Let's continue to focus on building portfolios and building wealth. Right. As well as on top of that, guys, if you're interested in learning how to trade these markets, getting early calls, being prepared for dumps like this, guys, go ahead and click on the link that's pinned in the comment section. That will take you to the Pip Connect Discord. That is Andy Peters' personal Discord. I'm a part of it, as well as about 1,000 other people that are helping each other just become financially savvy, learn to trade traditional markets as well as crypto, things like that, et cetera, et cetera. If that sounds like something you're interested in, again, go ahead and click on the link. It'll take you to the paywall. If you have any questions before you jump on board and become part of the Pip Connect, guys, reach out to Andy or myself. We'll do our best to get those questions answered for you and see if the Pip Connect is a right fit for you. Outside of that, let's just do it. Right now, guys, current market cap sitting at 2.65 trillion, down 3.35% from yesterday. Bitcoin dominance up just a little bit, 61.1%. ETH dominance getting murdered, 8.7%. And Gwei is super down, 0.63 Gwei will get you that e-transaction. Guys, fear and greed sitting at 15. If you've heard the saying before, and I know we say this a lot, it's like kicking at a dead horse. You buy fear and you sell greed. And there's not much for me to say outside of that. Extreme fear, 15. It doesn't go much lower than this. I never have. I mean, I've seen it barely during FTX and Celsius and Three Arrows Capital collapse. I've seen it barely tick into like 10, 9, but not much lower than this. This is bottom bear market sentiment, guys. Can we go lower? Absolutely. Do I think we might go lower? It's kind of where my head's at. But again, this is where you start scaling in. These are the areas where you deploy capital. Just some food for thought. On top of that, guys, let's go through the top 100, see what the biggest the biggest movers are, because I don't think anyone's gaining right now. Yeah, Bitcoin down 2.17%. ETH taking an absolute huge hit, under $2,000, 10.31% to the downside. Anything bigger? Doge down 9%. Chainlink down 9.29%. Avalanche down 9.19%. We got 9s everywhere. Sui down 9. Shiba down almost 9. Litecoin down almost 10. That's what it looks like. A bunch of 9s. Uniswap down 11.84%. 10.59 to the downside for Aave. Do 9 for Filecoin. Anything bigger? 10.93 for Optimism. Downside. Story IP still looking. What is this? I need to buy this. What does the chart look like? This thing looks strong as shit. So here's why. Okay, this is why I do this. Coins like this that are super strong during giant pullbacks like this are things we need to start looking at. Move is moving and not looking terrible, right? So Move and Story IP, I might do a deep dive on these coming up real soon. FET down 16.18. Ugh, that hurts. Injective. Guys, I exited Injective. I exited Injective and split it between Ondo and more Cardano. Just kind of playing safe bets based on where the market sentiment was going. I love Injective, but I haven't seen them do enough, in my opinion. I made a good amount of money on them. I had profit, so I split that profit between things I felt just were safer plays, especially with the way the market's going. I was buying Injective between $3 and $6 at the bottom of the last cycle, and it was below that. It was like $1 when I first started looking at it. If it gets back down to that dollar range, I might start aping into it again. 10.6 for Theta, 17.20 for Lido DAO. These are all to the downside, guys. 10.16 for Gala Games, 11.31 for Jasmy, 11.37 for ENS, 10.78 for Pith. Pith looking juicy at this level. Guys, Axie Infinity bringing in your top 100 spot. 8.24% to the downside, guys. Welcome to the bloodbath. To the charts. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. This is your 10-minute chart, which we can use right now. We got rejected from this downward descending trend line, which, as a matter of fact, I bet you if I go to the hour and do something like this, that's what we might be looking at. We're going to leave that there and see what it looks like when I go to larger time frames. Yesterday we got rejected, broke the see you later buy line, came down. As a matter of fact, go to the hour. And it looks like we're getting kind of this double bounce around the CME gap level. But still, yeah, that looks better. Look at that. This is what I think. This is our trend. This is making sense to me. So this is our trend, guys, on the 1 hour. This is what we're trying to break. Maybe a little fake out here, whatever. Go to the 2 hour. What's it look like? Yeah, something like that. This is our downward trend line. This is what if you're looking to enter positions, look for a breakout of this downward trend line. Or just follow the zones, because those seem to be holding like whoa. But we got rejected. broke down all the way down, and we got bought right to back up, and we're looking good. But again, we need to flip this here. Look, this is. I hope you guys are grasping this. If you're new to trading, how simple this could be. Not easy, but simple, right? If you're trading, which I am not actively trading right now, I'm in spot positions and holding and have held since I bought the bottom of the last cycle. If you're trading, you follow your zones, you long support, short resistance, buy breakouts for potential impulse moves. That's it. So right now, 82K needs to be flipped back into support. Outside of that, guys, if you have been watching for quite some time, I don't want to be like the I told you so guy and be like, oh, I prepared you for this, because I fucking hate that shit. But I have been giving warnings and giving caution. Even at the crypto event that we had in Nashville a couple weeks back, I did, if you were there, I told you guys there is a potential that 108 was the top. And if that is the case, you need to be prepared for what you're going to do, because it is not looking good. This is not, like you'll hear Andy say it, this is not still a bull run. And you'll probably hear all the guys on Facebook and on Twitter or X, or you want to call it, saying, oh, well, we're still in the bull run. We're still in the bull run. We are absolutely not. Guys, PAL went down to almost 7 cents, or it hit 7 cents. Am I still holding? Absolutely. Again, it's a project that, and this is just me. You guys got to figure out what's comfortable for yourself. I bought it when it was still under a penny. I'm still up almost 10x. I think the project will survive another bear cycle and continue to grow. So I'm going to hang out and see what it does. If anything, get it at least back up to its original all-time high. I don't know how it can't with partners like IBM, things like that. But that's me. You need to figure out what's right for you. But these are not bull market levels, guys. It's not. It's just not. So you need to be prepared that was potentially the top. And figure out what you're going to do. Are you going to exit? Are you going to hold? Or you can consolidate some of your smaller projects into the bigger, safer ones? You need to figure out what your exit strategy is. I'm trying to figure out what we got down to. 30%, guys. If this bounces from here, this will be wild. There is your 30% pullback from Bitcoin, which is pretty normal in traditional bull markets. I wouldn't say it's normal now with how big Bitcoin has gotten and the amount of money it takes to move it 30%, and how much of a loss it's taking at, numbers wise. I mean, 30% is from 108 down to 76.5. Yeah, 76.6, 76.5. That's a lot of thousands. Anyway, but we could potentially be going down, guys. For this, we could be going into a potential nasty bear market, and you need to be ready for it. Figure out what you're going to do. Outside of that, what happened? Well, we finally officially fully filled the CME gap. It's wild. They always say, these things get filled 100% of the time, or excuse me, like 96% of the time. And we didn't think it could happen, but there it is. We blew past it a little bit, but if you look at the bodies, the candle bodies, what's the 1 hour look like? Yeah. I mean, dipped, wicked right back up to it. Right up back to the bottom. Isn't that wild? Anyway, so let's figure out what we're doing right now, okay? Right now, what you're looking at is rejection off of this trend line, technically a rejection off of 82K, and those are the levels we need to watch. This could be a potential double bottom too on the 1 hour, but that's your run. Smaller time frames. What's the 8 hour look like? I like the wicks. I do not like the rejection from 82. Let me see. Market cipher probably looks like shit. I'm almost like, should I even pull it up? Boop, boo, boo, doo. Market cipher B. Oh, so anchor wave, trigger wave, trigger wave. I mean, that doesn't make sense at all. That's bullish divergence. VWAP trending down and money flow looks like a sack of shit. I'll have to look like on the higher time frames. 4 hour, double green dot. Kind of an anchor wave. VWAP up, rolling over. Money flow kind of flatlining. Big green dot printing on the 8 hour right now. Let's see if it will print. It's got 3 hours, 38 minutes to print. That could be big. So if you're using market cipher and things like that, especially in the higher time frames, this would be an entry point right here. And this is for trades, guys, not for small trades. Small trades is not the word I mean use, but for swing trades, right? Not like buy and holds. So print. If you're looking to trade with market cipher, you have it. A third green dot, strong entry point to catch this move, right? We might get another impulse move like that based on what we're seeing. We'll see how many of these green dots will print. But if you watch as the waves come down and this white pinches into the dark blue, which is what you're getting right now, it's basically an anchor wave that will potentially catalyst us up to some trigger waves. Right here, right here. Looking for bigger ones. Right here, and stayed bullish momentum for quite some time. So those are things we're looking at in larger time frames. We're using market cipher B, guys. Double greens on the 12. Just didn't. I mean, you caught the move, but it didn't really play out that well. Daily, big green dot on the daily. Wild. Anyway, that's it, guys. We're just... Look, Trump's doing something. Trump's trying to push the market down is what people are saying. They're saying, and we're going to read it probably in the articles, they're saying that he's trying to push the market down. So hear me on this, right? Our economy and our Fed only has one tool, really. They keep always say they're tools. You'll hear Chair Powell say the tools we have to fix the market, fix economy, blah blah. They have one tool. It is interest rates. Now, if inflation's going out of control, besides fixing government spending, there's only one way they can try to get that to calm down. And people are going to hate me when I say this, but you need to understand how money works. The only way they can fix inflation is to bring pain. Because they have to stop spending. They have to get the country to stop spending money, stop taking out loans, stop opening credit cards. That is how you really curb inflation. By, in other words, people are retarded. Hi, Steve. Good morning, brother. Yeah, I mean, the question is how far is he going to push it, right? I wouldn't start dumping all my capital, but again, these are buy levels, 100%. Either way, to curb inflation, outside of getting the government to stop just printing money, there has to be pain. And nobody wants to hear that. So the rumor right now on the street, which we're going to talk about, is that Trump is going to try and curb inflation by giving us a recession. or trying to force us into a recession. That's the only way they can fix this, or at least try to fix it. And then once that happens, guys, they will force the Fed to lower interest rates, and then they turn the money printer back on. We repeat this cycle all over. Liquidity flows into the market. Capital becomes cheap. And risk-on assets fly. But it's going to suck before that happens. How much will it suck? I don't know. So we'll see. But it just means things are going to go down. I mean, look at US 30. Let's go to the daily. The interesting thing about US 30 right now is we're sitting right here at these bounce zones that we've bounced on quite a few times. So there's a potential that we could bounce all the way back up to the all-time high again from here. But I don't think that's going to happen. Could be wrong. But I think they're really trying to crush the markets right now to put us into a small recession, so they can pump it again. And it looks good. But that is it, guys. That's all I've got for charts. If you do have any questions, go ahead and ask them right now. I'll give it a second before I jump onto the news. I don't think anyone's even watching right now besides my homie Steve. Fausto, good morning, brother. All right, let's get to the news. Pompliano. Trump deliberately crashed markets to get interest rates down. This is the rumor that's on the street. This is the thought process right now that everybody's talking about. Do I know if this is true or not? I don't know, but it kind of makes sense. Yeah. Think about it this way, guys. We spent an entire last cycle. Whether you are for one side politically or another, it doesn't matter to me. But I will tell you this. Someone who pays attention to the markets and watches financials as much as myself and the people around me do, we spent 4 years in an administration that did nothing but tell you how good the economy was, and then say there's no inflation, and then say inflation was transitory, and then say, oh, inflation got out of control and we don't know how it happened. And then boosted interest rates through the roof while still continuing to tell you that the economy is great and that they weren't printing money while sending billions, hundreds of billions of dollars to other countries. Just because they say they aren't printing money doesn't mean they're not printing money, guys. Think about it. Just because they're not lowering interest rates, doing any kind of quantitative easing, they found a way to do it without telling you. By sending, hundreds of billions of dollars to other countries. That's printing without printing, guys. Oh, that's right. And then the administration also told you that inflation isn't caused by printing more money. It's caused by greedy corporations. If you believe that, I challenge you to go and read a 7th grade economics book. I took middle school and high school economics. I remember what I was taught. I remember how supply and demand works. I remember like all of the economics stuff that I learned in high school. It ain't because of greedy corporations, y'all. There ain't enough greedy corporations to fucking print or push inflation that high. It's because they're printing money. They're devaluing your dollar. And they know they're doing it. So, to fix that, you need people to stop spending. You need debt to become expensive so people stop taking out loans. That's it. That's the only thing you can do. So again, in hindsight of what Trump might be doing is there's got to be pain before there's good times. So moving on. Anthony Pompliano speculates U.S. President Donald Trump may be taking matters into his own hands in an attempt to lower interest rates. The Trump administration may be intentionally creating uncertainty in the stock markets to corner Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell into lowering interest rates. So hear me on this too. If they don't really do this the right way, and I could be wrong, again, who the hell am I? I'm some dude in a room staring at a screen, yelling into a microphone, screaming into the void by himself. If they don't do this the right way, like we really get interest rates down and they just basically pigeonholed Powell to lower interest rates, the dollar's done. Like, there is no stopping this train if that's how this works, unless we see some decent pain, in my opinion. Interest rates, according to the market commentator, doing so increases the likelihood that U.S. won't need to refinance around $7 trillion in debt it owes over the next few months, Bitcoin commentator Anthony Pompliano said in a March 10th X post. U.S. President Donald Trump and Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent are taking matters into their own hands. They're crashing asset prices in an attempt to force Jerome Powell to cut interest rates, said Pomp, who serves as the founder and CEO of Professional Capital Management and host of the Pomp Podcast. In late January, Powell announced the Fed was not lowering interest rates from the current target range of 4.25% to 4.5%, despite calls from Trump to do so. Pomp said the recent market panic has been driven in part by Trump's tariffs and has been used to create more favorable bond market while lowering the 10-year Treasury yield. He noted that the 10-year Treasury yield is already down from nearly 4.8% in January to 4.21% now, a sign that Trump's purported strategy is heading in the right direction. This has been a copy pasta that was all over X. Everybody was posting it as if it was their own. People are hilarious. Trump is setting up, and Thomas Krollo, it's showing a screenshot of this guy's tweet stating this. Trump is setting up a stock market crash. U.S. government needs to refinance $7 trillion in debt over the next 6 months. Trump doesn't want this done at current 10-year yields. This is why he's letting the stock market drop while pushing bond prices higher. As bond prices rise, yields fall, making it cheaper for the U.S. government to refinance its debt. Lower yields will also pressure the Fed to cut rates, which is ultimately bullish for risk assets. This is everything I just explained to you at the beginning of this video before we went into the news, guys. Short-term pain, long-term gain. Relax. Don't lose sight of the bigger picture. If that's what's going on. This is all speculation. To those of us that are in risk on assets, go, okay, it makes sense. So this is going to suck for a little bit. Hopefully that's what they're doing. And then we pump this bitch to Valhalla. Well, we don't know, but we're hoping. Whether Pompliano's theory is correct or not, the stock market has been tanking. I don't know if I'd say it's tanking. I find this really funny. Right, let's go back to US 30. Let's go to the daily. Is it tanking or is it moving sideways? I mean, we've been here 1, 2, now 3 times we've been in this level. We've been up to the top. 1, 2. Go to the monthly. I think we've been here before. Or is that it? No, that's it. Okay. I thought we were higher than this a couple months back. Like in December. No? Nope. I guess that was back over here. No, okay, I'm wrong. Daily. But anyway, the point. I don't know if I'd say it's tanking. I find it really interesting. I mean, yes, is it going down? Yeah. But we've been here, again, 1, 2, 3 times. And we're at all-time highs. Ever. We're $2,000, roughly $2,000 or $3,000 away from another all-time high. Which 2 weeks ago we were at. But a month ago we were back where we're at right now. But 2-3 weeks ago before that we were back to all-time highs. But 2-3 weeks before that we were back down where we're at right now. Is that really tanking? I don't know, you tell me. Broad market index funds such as State Street's Standard & Poor's 500 S&P 5 index fund fell 2.66% on March 10th alone, while NASDAQ 100 fell 3.8%. Google Finance data shows both indexes are down 7.32% and 10.7% over the last month, while Bitcoin is down 27.4% from its 108,786 all-time high, and over $1.2 trillion has been wiped from the cryptocurrency market since December 17th. If the stock market continues to tank, it will come down to a who blinks first contest between Trump and Powell, Pompliano said. Well, Trump hasn't confirmed such a strategy, Pompliano pointed out to a Fox News interview on March 9th, where Trump said, "Nobody ever gets rich when the interest rates are high because people can't borrow money. But that helps with inflation." This is what I was just telling you guys. For inflation to stop and slow down, they have to make money hard to get. Pompliano added that lowering the interest rates would also benefit American consumers short term. The big goal to get interest rates down, and that will lead to more economic activity thanks to access to cheap capital. This is everything I've been saying, guys. Give the people cheap capital, and they'll go do things with it. Exactly. But what does that do to inflation? CME FedWatch, a tool used to measure expectations for a Federal Reserve interest rate change, has tipped a 96% probability that the target rate will remain between 4.25 and 4.5% following the Federal Reserve's next meeting on March 19th. Is that the next FOMC? Interesting. However, it's near 50-50 odds for the target rate to be lowered in the Federal Reserve's following meeting on May 7th. The Federal Reserve typically avoids lowering its rates when inflation is high, as one of its primary objectives is to maintain price stability. However, a Trump-inflicted recession, oh God, don't say Trump session. These people with these catchphrases could force America's top bank to start cutting again. All right. I'm going to read this last one, and the other things, I kind of want to read the hack. Damn it. All right. SEC looking to abandon effort requiring crypto firms register as exchanges. Acting SEC Chair Mark Ueda has asked the SEC staff for ways to abandon a rule change that would expand the definition of alternative trading systems to include crypto firms. Proposed rule change pushing for some crypto firms to register as exchanges could be abandoned under a new directive from the acting chairman of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. During a March 10th speech at the Washington conference of the Institute of International Bankers, acting SEC Chairman Mark Ueda said he had asked the SEC staff for options on abandoning part of the proposed changes that would expand regulation of alternative trading systems, or ATSs, to include crypto firms. In light of the significant negative public comment received on the definition of exchange with respect to crypto, I have asked the SEC staff for options on abandoning the part of the proposal, he said. In my view, it was a mistake for the commission to link together regulations of the treasury markets with a heavy-handed attempt to tamp down the crypto market. Ueda said the rule was initially crafted in 2020 under the former SEC chairman Jay Clayton to establish more straightforward rules for alternative trading systems, and the guidance was intended to mainly impact U.S. Treasury market participants. However, when it fell to former SEC chair Gary Gensler to implement the rule, he took a quote-unquote very different direction by expanding the list beyond just ATSs. Rather than focusing on the narrow issues relating to government securities, ATSs, a new iteration of the rule was proposed in 2020 that would redefine the regulatory definition of an quote-unquote exchange, Ueda said. The new definition of the term exchange included communication protocols without clearly defining what the term meant. Effectively, this vastly expanded definition of an exchange would have picked up various protocols used with respect to crypto assets, he added. Gensler's time at the SEC came with an aggressive regulatory stance towards crypto. He brought upward of 100 regulatory actions against firms from 2021 until his resignation on January 20th, the same day as Donald Trump started his second term as U.S. president. Trump has had promised to fire Gary Gensler if elected. After Gensler's resignation, the SEC has since taken a new friendlier approach, toward crypto. A growing number of firms facing legal action from the regulator have had their cases dismissed, including crypto exchange Gemini on February 26th, Kraken on March 3rd, and crypto trading firm Cumberland DRW on March 4th. Meanwhile, the agency has also launched a crypto task force dedicated to developing a framework for digital assets led by crypto-friendly Commissioner Hester Pierce. That's just more bullish news for crypto, guys. It's kind of a lot of shit over my head, but whatever. Sorry. I just want to keep an eye on Bitcoin. Elon Musk. There is a massive cyber attack against X. The X social media platform experienced several outages on March 10th, with users struggling to access the site. The X social media platform has been hit with a quote-unquote massive cyber attack that has prevented some users from accessing the site. Platform owner Elon Musk confirmed on March 10th. We get attacked every day, but this one was done with a lot of resources. Either a large coordinated group and or a country is involved, Musk said. Although user functionality was quickly restored, Musk implied that the attack was still ongoing. At the time of writing, there was more than 33,000 reports of X outages on March 10th, according to Down Detector. Musk confirmed the cyber attack in response to a social media user who detailed a series of attacks against the entrepreneur's interest, from protests against the Department of Government Efficiency to vandalism of Tesla stores. As NBC News reported, there have been at least 10 acts of vandalism against Tesla stores and vehicles, likely in response to the billionaire's entrepreneur involvement in the Trump White House. Doge expands cutting cost measures shortly after winning the November presidential election. We all know this. This isn't anything new. We don't need to read this. All right. Well, they had an attack. Cool. And we're just going to hit these headlines, guys. It's not really that important. If you're an AVAX holder, this might be potentially bullish for you. Just more ETFs being applied for. Avalanche, Layer 1. Check it out if you're not interested, or if you're not familiar with it. VanEck is filing for an ETF for Avalanche. And there you have it. Last but not least, guys, this is potential for the downturn too. Whenever this happens, a lot of people panic sell. Mt. Gox was a hack from long time ago. Lots of Bitcoin were stolen. They shut the exchange down, locked up funds, and they are finally, it's like back in 2015, I think. I'm not 100% sure anymore. I'm sorry, D. I just saw your comment. I hope it wasn't, or your question wasn't posted that long ago. Give me a second, guys. D asks, for those of us that have been investing and trading for however long we've been in these positions before, not sure why everyone is running around like their hair is on fire. I'll tell you why. Because nobody was ready for it. Neither was I. I'm just being honest. The overall sentiment for the quote-unquote bigwigs that I follow on X, nobody was prepared for this, D. Everybody, even myself. Can I handle it? Yes. Did I expect this to happen? No. Everybody was expecting a Trump pump, a big Trump pump, like a never-ending Valhalla pressure cooker of the Trump administration pumping shit to the sky. But that's not what we got. We got, I love crypto. Oh, I don't know. Crypto's cool. Oh, we're going to buy all this stuff and we're going to do all these things with crypto. When are you doing it? Oh, I don't know. It's whatever. We'll get around to it. Oh, we're putting all this stuff in a strategic reserve. No, we're not. Not really. Just Bitcoin. That's kind of how the sentiment has been. So that's basically uncertainty, which markets don't like uncertainty. So everyone's kind of just fed up, especially retail. Retail's exhausted right now. I see it all over. But that's why people are running around. No one expected what we're doing right now. No one was ready for it. Um, it's insanely hard to trade right now. It's why I haven't been trading. I've got plenty of friends that do trade. Are like, dude, this is bullshit. Every time, like, perfect setups, things that, you know, everything's lined up, and it doesn't do what we're used to it doing. So that's really why. Just no, this caught everybody with their pants down. This downturn, everybody. So, anyways, so this is a big hack. They're finally releasing funds to people after holding on to them for 6 some odd years. So when these big amounts of money hit the market, people get scared and try and liquidate. So they think this money's gonna hit the market and everybody's just gonna sell it all on spot. Which, I mean, might happen, but that's what you see with the Mt. Gox hack money release stuff. So, guys, that's all I've got for you today. Let's go to the charts one last time before I let y'all go. Let's go to the 1 hour. See what we're doing. We're still beating our heads up against 82K or that downward trend line. This is what we want to break. We want to break this trend, and we want to reestablish 82 as support. Outside of that, that's it, man. Watch the traditional market for the market open right now. 846 pre-open. Is she moving? Let's look. She's going down right now at pre-market. Wait for 9:30. See what happens there. But that's all I've got for you guys this morning. If you do enjoy the content I provide for you here every morning on Boring Crypto, please, by all means, like the video. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube. Follow me if you're watching on Facebook. Share the stream on all your social platforms. Tell your wife, tell your kids, tell your husband. Let's get this community huge. Don't walk away from this stuff right now when things are going down. This is when you need to be paying attention. That's it. That's the lesson to get rich in this shit. When it's nasty, it's time to start paying attention. That's it. But outside of that, guys, if you want to learn how to get better at this stuff, click on the link that's pinned in the comments. It'll take you to the Pip Connect Discord paywall. That is our community. Well, Andy Peters' community. I'm part of it. And we're all just helping each other learn this stuff, man. Get better at it. More eyes, more questions, bigger, badder, stronger, better. If that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and join. If you have any questions, reach out to myself or Andy. We'll do our best to get those questions answered for you. And outside of that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. I am out of here.